Right. Sorry about that. Yo guys, what's going on? I did record part of this video yesterday, but once again my video didn't come out very well. So, yeah, this phone is fully crap. I've come to terms with that. This phone is crap. Audio is crap. Everything about this phone is pretty crap, to be honest with you. Basically, right, let's go over what I was doing yesterday, alright? This is my salt that I use. What I normally use is the Reef salt. And to be fair, it's served me well. But as you can tell, it is empty. There is nothing left in this box anymore. I thought I had enough for one of these full of water, but I obviously didn't, because I filled up that with my water, put all my salt in. I was like, yeah, you know what, that looks enough. It's not even half enough. So I've spent the last what time is it now? It's 3:30. Yeah, I spent the last 25 hours trying to evaporate some water out of here. It was originally up about here, and it's gone down about 2 mil in 25 hours. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why I'm running this anymore, because I now have this. So literally the only reason why I'm doing this now is so I can dip that, because it's not open very much, so I feel like it's annoyed by something. That, because that has not grown at all. Yeah, that's the only things that I might try dipping my egg cans, but I've never dipped anything from my life, so I'm a little bit worried, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's my what was green plate and Montipora. That's now a white green polyped Montipora, because yeah, so everything in here isn't doing too bad at the moment, apart from that guy just there, and that guy just there. But at least his tentacle's still out. It hasn't closed up completely. I think something's just annoying it. Yeah, let's get on to the Triton bottles. I have so far dosed 8 millilitres of these today, because my alkalinity was at like 6.3, and I've brought it up to 7.9 very slowly over today. And I'm aiming for 8 DKH, so 7.9 today will be alright. I'm going to see how much it drops tonight. Maybe I only have to chuck 1 mil in tomorrow of everything, and try and work my way from there. But yeah, one problem. When I got this packaging, yeah, they're Triton. Sorry about that. Oh, nothing wants to stay up. Yeah, it had leaked everywhere. So, not good. Yeah, it was this one, and I think it was this one. It's, yeah, it was literally all over these. I've opened them, I've taken a couple of mil out, and then yeah, I managed to get up to 7.9 DKH. I have emailed Triton, waiting for them to get back to me. But yeah, no, I just need to start using it, because my levels were quite low. Yeah, I've got a calcium test kit now, because I spilt all my calcium down me from my Red Sea one. So I thought I'd try a different one. So yeah, that's doing alright. So yeah, that's my blue tip hammer just there. It is open. Doesn't look too pissed off, because if it was really pissed off, I don't think it'd open at all. But I'm thinking of swapping that one out with whether they are Mazoas, because there's a lot of like little holes in this rocket, you can probably see, and they're buried in one of them. So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of moving him to whereabouts the others are, and the others to whereabouts that is. So, because I feel like the flow that this is getting just here, it's more being sucked up into the power head just there, so it isn't really getting any different sort of flow, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to try and swap the two over. I'm going to put him just there, and then put him just there at some point whenever I can. Still need to put the GSP on the overflow black box thingy, but I haven't got enough glue to do that yet. As I've already told you about my green my white green polyped Montipora, which should just be a lime green Montipora, isn't doing too well, but I'm hoping, because Triton has all the elements in it that you need, I'm hoping that it can bounce back. This is probably my favourite coral, just because that's the OG one. That's the one that's been in here pretty much since day, my first ever like proper coral. Because even though this one was my proper coral, I've come to terms with, you probably don't even need a saltwater tank and you could grow that. But this I'm really proud of, because when I first got it, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know if it was torch, because it didn't have any shape to the polyps or anything. It was just nothing really. But now it's really got the hammer tips to it. There's so many more polyps. It's just looking really good. I'm really happy with that. And there's my red plate in Montipora, which isn't too bad. It's still got its colour, thank God. Got a lot of polyps on it now, so hopefully we can go through like a little bit of a growing phase here, whereabouts things will start growing. Because there's now no excuses for anything to not grow now that I'm dosing. So I'm gonna have to dose my hand to start off with, because I don't have a dosing pump yet, but all in time. My acan down there, it's still alive. That's a good sign. Yeah, it's all looking good. Happy with how everything's looking. Got quagmire just there. Huge. Put my finger in the tank sometimes and he tries to clean it. I was scared of him doing it at first, but to be fair, he's not too bad. He's the king of the castle, this guy. One of the, not really an OG, but he's still the king. Look at him. Chunky. Doing his own little thing, swimming about. It's my yellow wrasse. Or Steve, as I like to call him. Because my original yellow wrasse, he was Steve, so he's Steve part 2. Clownfish over there. They're doing fine. Been in there since day 1 really. Well, not day 1, like my first ever fishes though were these two. And the original yellow wrasse, but I think it was a little bit too early for him. But these guys have been doing absolutely fine. My leopard wrasse is there. Beautiful fish. Love it. Just the way it moves about. Eating really well as well. Eating like an absolute pig. And he's just angry all the time. Doesn't like anyone being in his space. But to be fair, he has quietened down a lot. It was about 2 months ago he was Larry. Absolutely Larry. Oh yeah, this is something else guys. Tomorrow, it will be 6 months to the day since this fish tank's been up and running. So, yeah, we've come a long way in that time. Finally started dosing. So, just wonder what the fish tank will look like in 6 months time. Because it's come so much further in 6 months than I imagined it to in a couple of years. I never expected me to be honest with you, I didn't realise it was going to go this well. I thought it was going to be a failure. I only thought I was going to be able to keep fish, but I've been able to keep coral for a few months now. So, I must be doing something right. Always feeding them. My fish, I mainly feed frozen food. I very, very rarely feed flake and pellet food, just because I prefer what you get out of like frozen food, if that makes sense. Seems a little bit more natural for them than pellets. But I have noticed something, that with frozen food, they're literally like 6.5% protein, but with pellets, it's like 49% protein. So I've noticed that my fish don't really grow much when they eat frozen compared to when they were eating pellet. But I just prefer them eating frozen, if that makes sense. They've got plenty of time to grow. I feed them plenty. I use 2 cubes of frozen just to make sure everyone gets a chance to eat. And I spread it out during the day in 3 to 4 small feedings, just because that's how I do it. So I don't really know what to do with this thing right here. I'm just gonna leave it, see how it goes, save it for my dipping and everything like that. So I've got to get ready for work soon. I'm just gonna feed the fish quickly. But yeah, as you can see, I do feed quite a lot of food, but I feel like anything that does go through the overflow will go down into my refugium, and it's full of pods and everything down there, so I'm sure they take part in cleaning, helping to clean up anyway. I don't know if you'll see it. I'll try and... You probably won't be able to see it. If Quagmire would move out of the way. I don't know if you can see that like worm thing just there. No, you're not going to see it very well, but there's loads of like red-legged starfish. I did do a little bit of research into them before, because I was worried about these red things, like tentacle things in my sand bed, but they turned out to be like some sort of starfish sort of thing, and apparently they're fine. They're alright, they're just part of the clean-up crew. And you only get as many of them in your tank as the food will support them, or something like that. It was something along them lines. I'm not a genius at this, I'm still learning, still growing. I feel like I've come a long way since I first started. Didn't really have a clue about anything. Still, to be honest with you, compared to lots and lots and lots and lots of other people, I know absolutely nothing, but I feel like I've made a good start in the saltwater world, and I'm looking forward to seeing whereabouts this all leads off to in the end. Eventually I'd like to get a bigger tank, but these things take time, but one day I will have one. But right now I just want to stock this out with corals, learn a bit more about dosing and everything, and eventually you'll look at this fish tank and it will just be packed out full of corals. There's plenty of room for coral as well. It's just a shame that they're expensive. But yeah, sorry this has been a little bit of a lot. I didn't expect this to be so long, guys, sorry about this, but yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. It's been Dave, and I'm out. Peace.